Follow me to Hilton Head, South Carolina to see which products I use to transform this neglected 2018 Sea Ray from this to this in just a few hours. If you're a DIYer who wants the basic steps to wash your boat, remove oxidation, polish, and protect it, this video will show you how to keep it looking its best all season long. Let's go.
Ew.
Look at this thing, dude.
Have you seen how bad this thing is?
Yes.
It's bad. It's bad. So we got beat up in a hurricane a little bit. Well, let me back up before that. You were using the boat all the time. I used to take really good care of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And then my daughter got diagnosed with cancer, and we're like living in hospitals for years, and we kind of avoided the boat, and it just sat, unfortunately, in the water, just being neglected, getting beat up by the sun, getting beat up by the wind, the rain, all the elements, and it's really gotten torn up. And then a hurricane came through and banged it up even more. It's like a cherry on top. So thankfully you're here. We got some work to do to get this looking new again. So the sun was really just beating up this side.
All right, man. We'll take a look at the top side when we get this boat over to the shop. So let's do this.
Cool.
All right, so we're back here at the shop, and one of the first things that you want to do before you're going to do a full detail like this is you want to strip the boat of any personal belongings. A lot of people get started and then they forget, and then they've got stuff in the lockers and they got to pull it all out. So that's the first thing that we're going to do is just get everything out of the way, just really get it down to bare bones so it makes it really easy to wash. All right, so we finally got everything that we could get out by hand, including any of the personal items. So first we're going to give it a good rinse with the power washer, get any other loose dirt and debris that we couldn't get by hand off the boat. You might notice that some of this spotting and some of these darker spots are not washing away, and this is exactly why you want to protect your gel coat, because once oxidation sets in, you end up with a more porous surface, and this allows mold and mildew to grow. So the same types of black spots that you're seeing on your seats, you start to see form on the upper part of the gel coat here. All right, all rinsed out. Now we're gonna hit it with the foam cannon and then wash that away, and then we'll work to the outside. Let's go. Now you might have noticed by what I'm wearing that this is a branded video, and I could do what every other brand does and tell you that our soap is more premium, or that it's eco-friendly, or that it's made in America. And all those things are true, but I'd rather focus on the industry's dirty little secret that most boat owners don't know when it comes to washing your boat. No matter how eco-friendly, gentle, effective, or protective a soap claims to be, many still contain degreasers that strip, wax, polish, and protective coatings. So while you might be doing what's right by the waterways, you're doing what's wrong for your boat. And so that's why we developed our own soap. We wanted something that was relatively touchless, that was eco-friendly, that removed salt, dirt, and grime without removing all of your hard work. So detail brushes like these, you can get them at a lot of different price points. The lower you go, you're gonna lose a little bit of bristle. But what's most important is the pressure that you apply. A lot of people are tempted to press really hard to get dirt out, so they wanna press. But when you press, you actually lose a little bit of the friction on the surface. So you wanna just keep it nice and gentle so as many of the bristles are touching the surface at the same time. Light pressure, light touch, get in there and let the bristles do the work. Detail brushes are great for getting into all those little spaces on the boat where dirt can get trapped, mixed with water, and create hard to remove black streaks later on. Now, of course, it all depends on the size of your boat, but I recommend instead of using a deck brush, which is a little bit more abrasive and a little bit less efficient, using a microfiber wash mitt along with those detail brushes. You can get 99 to 100% of that grime that's caked on the surface before you rinse off the boat. All right, so before we get into the compounding, one thing that we want to take care of is this scum line. Now you'll notice we have it taped off because we have bottom paint on the bottom of this boat, and what we don't want is for the solution that we're going to use to drip into the bottom paint and either cause it to bleed back into the gel coat or to bleach the bottom paint itself. Another thing that you might think is, well, why aren't we just taking our compound to this scum line, because that should be able to remove it. The only issue is that when you go to do that, it's sucking up whatever this contamination is into your compound, and you're gonna end up putting it right back into your gel coat. So what we're gonna do is we're going to start with an acid wash. I like to use on and off. You put this on a microfiber towel so you have a little bit of control, and we're going to rub it on, and what it's going to do is it's going to make this scum line disappear. But the most important thing to do is follow it up with something that'll neutralize it, because if you don't, it'll continue to eat into the gel coat, making it more porous and inviting more of this scum line in the future. So we're going to use Formula 4 This will help neutralize it, and it also acts as an all-purpose cleaner, so you'll have a really nice blank canvas for when it's time to compound. Now, typically, I'd recommend polishing the boat stern to bow, but for this video, to give you a nice before and after, I'm gonna tape it right here down the middle. All right, let's get started. First things first, we have a brand new pad, so we're going to condition it today. We're gonna grab our bottle of Skwol marine grade oxidation remover. It's a one-step compound and polish, and we're gonna work it into the pad, making sure that we're getting all around the edges for a nice even result. Now, this step's not 100% necessary, but if you have access to compressed air, you can blow out the excess compound. And now our new pad is ready, so all we need to do is apply 4 to 5 dots of the compound before we get started. So for DIYers, I recommend a dual action buffer over a rotary buffer. It's a little bit more forgiving and a lot easier to control. And you're gonna go with a slow back and forth motion. It's important not to move too quickly, and it's important not to zigzag. You wanna go back and forth and then up and down in a crosshatch fashion. And here's why this product just works. This is one pass with a fine polishing foam pad before and after. So here we went from heavy oxidation, kind of feel that chalkiness on the surface, to near perfection on the other side in just one step. And you're basically done. Now, if you want this shine to last, you're going to want to apply a layer of protection, and you could go with a wax that lasts for a few weeks, but I prefer something a bit more long-term in the 8 to 12 month range, and that's why I go with the spray-on ceramic top coat. So we did our wash down, we did our compounding, now you have a nice, rich gloss. And now we're gonna go over it with our marine grade ceramic top coat. We have a spray-on wipe-off solution, very DIY, very forgiving. Comes off with a degreaser, so you can actually remove it if you need to. Number one thing you wanna remember is you're going to apply it in a cool, dry area out of the sun. So you'll notice we're in the shade here. We're not gonna apply it in direct sunlight. It's nice and cool to the touch. This is a great place to apply the product. If you apply it in direct sunlight, the reason why they tell you not to is because it's going to be very difficult to remove and it might get streaky on you. And that's the problem that a lot of people have when they apply it incorrectly. So a few light sprays and we're going to wipe it in immediately. And so this is your final step to lock in that shine for months with a hydrophobic barrier of protection that's going to make it a lot easier to clean and to keep it looking great all season long. So thanks for watching. If this video brought you any value, please follow, subscribe. Check us out over on Facebook and Instagram at Skwol Marine or at skwolmarine.com. Until next time.